you up these get these give it up get you up these get.
I'm the Ibiza Final Boss.
One minute he was just a guy dancing in Ibiza. The next he was flying on a private jet, throwing pool parties with 100 fans, and rubbing shoulders with DJs and dwarf performers. With a shiny bowl haircut, sunglasses glued to his face, and a gold chain swinging from his neck, Jack K didn't just crash the party scene, he became the final boss of it. It all started with one short video. Jack K, just a regular lad from Newcastle, was caught on camera dancing at a beach club in Ibiza. No big deal, right? But then something strange happened. The video spread like wildfire online. His quirky haircut, big rave glasses, and confident moves lit up social media. People began sharing, liking, and laughing. He became a meme overnight. But this wasn't a joke. This was the start of something bigger. He wasn't trying to go viral. He wasn't acting. He was just having fun on holiday. And that's exactly why people loved him. They saw a bit of themselves in him, a party-goer just enjoying the moment, a guy who didn't care what others thought. And with that, Jack K earned a new title, the Ibiza Final Boss. Just days after the viral clip, Jack's life flipped upside down. He was offered a private jet trip to return to Ibiza in style. Not economy class, not even first class. This was a full-blown luxury jet worth £5 million. And of course, Jack brought 4 of his best mates along for the ride. They flew into the heart of Ibiza and checked into the Bluestone Villa, a massive £9 million mansion hidden in the hills of Santa Eulalia. This wasn't just a fancy Airbnb. The villa had a giant swimming pool, an indoor nightclub, a top-class sound system, and even a private chef ready to cook up anything they wanted. It was a dream home for any party king. And for Jack, it was now real life. Jack didn't waste a second. Within hours, he threw one of the wildest parties Ibiza had ever seen. He opened the gates of the Bluestone Villa to 100 of his fans, who he proudly called his Charvas. These weren't influencers or celebs. They were real people, the same ones who turned him into an internet star. The music boomed from the DJ booth. 2 popular DJs, Dennis Menendez and Rarsquared, kept the energy high all night. The pool turned into a dance floor. People laughed, swam, danced, and cheered. Jack was in the center of it all, vaping, smiling, surrounded by girls in bikinis and boys with drinks. At one point, he even hoisted a girl on his shoulders in the pool while fans cheered. For a man who became famous just days earlier, Jack looked like he'd been doing this for years. If things weren't wild enough, the next night took the madness to a whole new level. One of the guests who showed up was Juan Alberto Duaso, a dwarf performer who had previously appeared at FC Barcelona star Lamine Yamal's birthday party. There had been controversy around that event, but in Ibiza, Duaso came with a different mission. Wearing a wig that matched Jack's iconic bowl cut, shades, and a chain, he became the mini-boss. The resemblance was hilarious, and the crowd loved it. Jack introduced him with a huge grin. Together, they danced around a drink cooler, mirroring each other's moves. The video of them went viral instantly, with the caption, "The Final Boss and the Mini-Boss out tonight." But not everyone saw it as just fun. Disability rights groups in Spain raised concerns. They warned celebrities not to use people with dwarfism for entertainment that could be seen as mocking. Laws were changing. And now, even parties had to be careful. While Jack was ruling the island, not everyone back home was celebrating. His girlfriend, Alicia Cook, didn't like what she was seeing. Photos of Jack partying with bikini girls, dancing in the pool, and flying in private jets weren't exactly relationship-friendly. Friends said she felt ignored, alone, left behind. Just days into his Ibiza adventure, she ended their relationship. The headlines hit hard. But then came the twist. The two started talking again. They patched things up. Kind of. Sources said Jack was still on thin ice. As fame wrapped tighter around him, Jack was starting to realize the bigger the party, the harder the consequences. Let's talk about the haircut. That thick Lego Man bowl cut became Jack's signature look. Some called it Ringo Starr. Others called it the Battle of Hastings. But where did it come from? Ali Kurbani, a master barber in Newcastle, had the answer. He's been cutting Jack's hair for over 10 years. The official style? Medium skin fade with some length on top. But the secret? Keep the fringe super sharp. The Ibiza Boss special cut costs £26 at B&D Barbers, but Jack's been known to tip big. He's a really nice guy, Ali said, and since Jack's video went viral, people have been showing up at the shop asking for the same style. It turned a local trim into an international trend. Back in the UK, Jack's face was popping up in the most unexpected places. In Nottingham, a massive mural of him appeared on a skate park wall. It had everything: the haircut, the chain, the shades. It was art, and it was loved. Online, the memes kept rolling in. People compared him to cartoon characters, rock stars, and even action figures. But Jack wasn't stuck in meme land. He dropped a brand new dance track. It was catchy, cheeky, and club-ready. Fans called it a banger. He also signed with a celeb agency that handles names from shows like Love Island. Jack, the holiday meme, was now becoming a full-blown entertainment brand. It didn't take long before TV producers came knocking. Jack was in talks to join Big Brother. Maybe not this season, maybe just as a task guest. But the idea was real. People wanted more Jack. Neon management said they were flooded with offers. But with fame came serious questions. Was Jack's act fun or harmful? Critics pointed to his pairing with Duaso. They said entertainment should never come at someone else's dignity. The Spanish government had already tightened the rules. And now, even Jack's parties were getting political. Then came Bonnie Blue, a controversial adult performer known for jaw-dropping stunts. She flew to Ibiza just to meet Jack. A video showed them hugging awkwardly in the Villa Garden. Fans could feel the tension. Jack looked nervous. Bonnie later said it was her shortest video yet. People warned Jack to stay away. Bonnie had a wild past, including being banned from OnlyFans. She once tried to set up a human petting zoo challenge, but Jack had already stepped into that world. And even if the meeting was short, the internet was buzzing. Jack posted a photo of a trimmed tree, a cheeky nod to his hair, and captioned it, "What just happened? The ride was spinning fast." 2 weeks. That's all it took. From a dance floor in Ibiza to private jets, villas, music deals, viral clips, a mural, and maybe even Big Brother. Jack K didn't plan this, he didn't chase it, but it found him. He became a symbol of summer 2025, a man who danced like no one was watching, until everyone was. His story isn't just about partying, it's about timing, confidence, and being 100% yourself. So if you ever find yourself on a dance floor, remember Jack K, because you never know when your moment will come. And if it does, will you be ready to be the final boss?
And Ibiza Final Boss.
It started with a dance, a haircut, a moment in the neon light, and in just a few days, one man went from a normal holiday to living like a rock star. But fame this fast always has a shadow, and Ibiza's final boss might be hiding one too. Today, we're pulling back the curtain. It was just another hot night on the Spanish island of Ibiza, the world's most famous party capital. At the venue 06 West, music pounded, lights flashed, and in the middle of the crowd, a man in a black designer vest, chunky gold chain, and dark sunglasses was dancing, cool, calm, and completely in his own world. But it wasn't just his moves people noticed, it was that haircut. A perfect blunt bowl cut, so sharp it looked like it had been drawn with a ruler. The club posted a short video online asking, "Does anyone know this absolute legend, cause we've got 2 free guest list spots with his name on it?" Within hours, the clip exploded. 18 million views on TikTok, memes flooded in, and people started calling him something strange yet perfect: the Ibiza Final Boss. Fans imagined him like the last and toughest opponent in a video game set in Ibiza, someone you face only when you've partied long and hard enough to unlock the final level. One viral comment summed it up: "You haven't really been to Ibiza until you faced him, the final boss, Big Jack K." By the next morning, his real name was everywhere: Jack K, a 26-year-old from Newcastle, England, and his life would never be the same. Every hero or villain has a signature look. For Jack, it was that helmet-like bowl cut, and the internet couldn't get enough of it. Some joked it was Ibiza at 11, bullying King John to sign the Magna Carta at 12, while others called it the chestnut mushroom cut. Someone even thought it was a hat. Jack didn't just stumble on this style. His barber, Ali Kurbani from B&D Barbers in Blade and Gateshead, had been cutting his hair for a decade. On August 7th, after Jack flew back to the UK, he went straight to Ali's chair for a fresh trim before heading back to Ibiza. They hugged, took a photo, and Ali revealed the magic recipe: a medium skin fade on the sides, a bit of length on top for the helmet shape, and a sharp fringe across the front. The price was about £26 unless Jack tipped more. Ali admitted he never expected the style to blow up, but he's proud of his client. "I've been doing this job for a while, and this is incredible," he said. "We've been cutting Jack's hair for about 10 years and never expected this level of attention." Now, other barbers around the UK say they're getting requests for the Final Boss cut every day. When Jack left Newcastle for Ibiza, he was just another lad looking for a good time. Within a week, brands like Curry's and Greg's were making memes about him. Booking.com even messaged him, "Hey legend, we want to get you back to Ibiza for an extended stay. Check your DMS." Fans worshipped his energy. One tweet read, "This man went on holiday as Jack and left as Ibiza's final boss. Next week, he'll have a podcast. Next month, he'll launch a crypto coin." Even strangers in Ibiza started hunting for selfies with him. Some copied his haircut. Others dressed up as him for the night. The transformation was complete. Jack was now a living, breathing meme. Viral fame doesn't just bring attention, it brings money. And for Jack, the numbers are eye-opening. Industry experts estimate that he could earn between £1,000 and £5,000 for a single club appearance, and anywhere from £1,000 to £2,000 for each sponsored post he makes on social media. If he decides to branch out into selling merchandise like wigs, sunglasses, or t-shirts, those could easily bring in tens of thousands more. Nick Ide, a brand and culture expert, explained the appeal. "He's captured the zeitgeist," Ide said. "He's a living caricature, exactly what you think people who go to Ibiza should look and act like. It's crazy." The real game changer came when Jack signed with Neon Management, the same agency behind Joey Essex and Love Island stars. With their guidance, the Ibiza Final Boss isn't just a fleeting summer meme, he's being packaged and promoted for a much bigger stage, with a Final Boss tour already in the works. Just when people thought Jack was riding solo, a new face stepped into the spotlight, Alicia Cook, 23, from Durham. She works as a debt collector and social media coordinator, and she's Jack's girlfriend. Alicia joined the fun, posting TikToks with captions like, "POV, your boyfriend's now known as the Ibiza Final Boss." Some called her Mrs. Boss. Others weren't so kind, and her social media took a hit from nasty comments. Supporters clapped back, saying, "They look happy and he seems cool. Good luck. Hope you make a mint." Like Jack, Alicia insists they're both just normal people, but they're learning fast that internet fame isn't always friendly. It's one thing to go viral, it's another to keep it going. Jack wasted no time. He set up TikTok and Instagram accounts, quickly hitting 60,000 plus followers. He changed his profile picture to a Lego figure of himself, bowl cut and all. Then came the big move. Neon Management signed him. This agency has made reality TV personalities into millionaires, and they're sending Jack on tour, likely to Ibiza, UK clubs, and maybe even festivals. Jack himself teased fans in an Instagram story, "Stay locked in. Got some big news coming." Whatever it is, it's clear he's not letting this moment pass quietly. It's easy to get lost in the fun of this story. Cool haircut, memes, private jets, but Ibiza's bright lights can hide deep shadows. Behind the dance floors, locals face high living costs and seasonal work that barely pays. The same clubs that make people famous also have problems with crime, drugs, and exploitation. Visitors often burn through their money chasing the Ibiza dream, only to go home broke and exhausted. Viral fame has its own dangers: pressure to stay relevant, constant public judgment, and the risk of being forgotten as quickly as you were discovered. Jack's smiling now, but internet fame can turn sour overnight. The truth: Ibiza's Final Boss might not just be a joke, he could be a warning about what happens when the party never stops. Jack K, Ibiza's Final Boss, is unforgettable. In days, he's gone from Newcastle to neon legend. But fame this fast burns bright and burns out. That bowl cut, a perfect mask. That dance, a perfect distraction. But every viral star faces the same question: what happens when the music stops? Next time someone takes over your social feed, remember, behind the laugh, behind the look, there's always a shadow. The real Final Boss might not be Jack at all. It might be the game we're all playing without knowing it.
That the stones used in building the Great Pyramid came from Torah, and Torah is a 25 mile to the east.
What if everything you learned about the pyramids was a complete fabrication? The official narrative tells us that Pharaoh Khufu built the Great Pyramid using copper tools and 20,000 workers in just 20 years around 2500 BCE. But Graham Hancock, a former journalist for The Economist who has spent over 3 decades investigating ancient civilizations across the globe, claims this timeline is not just wrong, it's physically impossible. His research suggests we're not the first advanced civilization to walk this earth, and the proof lies buried beneath centuries of academic denial. Graham Hancock represents a different breed of researcher. Unlike traditional Egyptologists confined to academic institutions, Hancock has traveled from the pyramids of Egypt to the jungles of Indonesia, from sunken ruins off Japan's coast to the temples of Central America. His multidisciplinary approach combines geology, astronomy, ancient languages, and comparative mythology to disclose patterns that mainstream academia consistently ignores. For over 30 years, he has interviewed experts across multiple fields, building a case that challenges the very foundation of our historical timeline. The first crack in the official pyramid story becomes apparent when you examine what's missing inside the Great Pyramid itself. The structure stands as the most iconic monument on Earth, yet its interior tells a strangely silent story. Ancient Egyptian royal tombs typically overflow with inscriptions from the Book of the Dead, praises to gods, names of pharaohs, and carved declarations of divine lineage. The so-called sarcophagus in the king's chamber raises equally troubling questions. This plain granite box sits unmarked, undecorated, and completely empty. No mummy has ever been discovered inside. No burial relics, no royal seals, nothing to prove that Khufu or anyone else was ever laid to rest there. For a civilization as obsessed with detailed record-keeping as ancient Egypt, this absence of evidence is deafening. The entire connection between Khufu and the Great Pyramid rests on a single piece of evidence: quarry marks discovered in 1837 by Colonel Howard Vyse, a British explorer. According to Vyse's journal, these marks were found in a sealed chamber above the king's chamber, and they were supposedly named Khufu. However, multiple red flags surround this discovery. Vyse faced intense competition with another explorer who threatened to outshine him. No witnesses observed the actual discovery of these crucial inscriptions. Most importantly, several inconsistencies in Vyse's record suggest he may have forged these marks to secure fame and funding for his expedition. This single questionable piece of graffiti represents the only direct evidence linking Khufu to the Great Pyramid. The pharaoh's name appears nowhere else on the monument's exterior, in no ancient papyrus describing the building process, and in no temple reliefs or royal tombs from that era. Hancock proposes an alternative explanation. Khufu didn't build the pyramid. He found it, inherited it, and claimed it. Later Egyptian dynasties may have restored or reused this ancient structure without fully understanding its true origins. When you examine the engineering precision of the Great Pyramid, the impossibility of the official timeline becomes undeniable. The structure aligns to true north with an error margin of just 0.05 degrees, not magnetic north but true north, which can only be measured accurately using advanced instruments and satellites. Yet this precision was allegedly achieved over 4,500 years ago using copper and stone tools. The pyramid's base covers more than 13 acres, yet remains perfectly level with a variance of less than 1 inch across the entire foundation. Even with modern laser-guided surveying equipment, achieving this level of flatness on such a massive scale would challenge contemporary engineers. The limestone casing stones and inner granite blocks fit together so precisely that a razor blade cannot slide between many joints. Some joints curve, others angle. They don't just fit tightly, but interlock to absorb tremendous force and weight. The official story attributes this precision to copper chisels and dolerite pounding stones. Copper, however, is far too soft to cut granite effectively. Experimental archaeology has attempted to recreate this process using these ancient tools, but results prove consistently slow, inefficient, and inaccurate. At best, it takes hours to make minimal progress on a single stone. At worst, the tools break down almost immediately. Consider the mathematical implications. The Great Pyramid contains an estimated 2.3 million blocks, some weighing between 2 and 15 tons. According to the official 20-year timeline, workers would need to quarry, shape, transport, and precisely place one block every 2.5 minutes, operating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 2 decades without pause, error, or inconsistency. The pyramid's internal design shows even more sophistication. The height-to-base ratio approximates pi, and the structure encodes knowledge of equinoxes, the solar year, and Earth's curvature. This represents advanced engineering, not primitive trial and error. The transportation mystery deepens when examining the king's chamber materials. Unlike the limestone blocks used throughout most of the pyramid, the chamber walls and ceiling consist of granite blocks weighing up to 80 tons each, equivalent to a diesel locomotive. These massive stones originated from quarries in Aswan, over 500 miles away in southern Egypt. The official narrative requires us to believe workers transported multiple locomotive weight blocks upstream along the Nile, then dragged them inland and lifted them over 150 feet high into the pyramid's core, using only ropes, wooden sleds, and muscle power. The most commonly proposed solution involves massive earthen or spiral ramps built alongside the growing pyramid. Engineering analysis reveals fatal flaws in this theory. Such a ramp would need to stretch over a mile long and contain more material than the pyramid itself. Despite this supposedly essential engineering structure, no trace of such a ramp has ever been found. Modern stone workers using replicas of ancient tools have attempted to move and shape similar granite blocks. They report extreme difficulty and inefficiency, even with today's supplementary techniques. Many contemporary engineers have stated publicly that they could not replicate the Great Pyramid's construction using the tools attributed to ancient Egyptians. As Hancock puts it, this wasn't manpower, this was know-how. The timeline mystery extends beyond the Great Pyramid to the nearby Sphinx. In the 1992nd, geologist Dr. Robert Schoch examined the Sphinx not as an archaeological artifact, but as a geological formation. His findings sent shockwaves through the academic community. The stone surrounding the Sphinx displays deep vertical fissures, erosion patterns caused not by wind and sand, but by heavy, sustained rainfall. This water erosion could only have occurred during periods of significant precipitation. The Giza region hasn't experienced such rainfall for thousands of years. The last time this area saw enough rain to create these weathering patterns was during the late Pleistocene era, approximately 10,000 to 12,000 years ago. Schoch's analysis points to a carving date around 10,500 BCE, thousands of years before the entire dynastic period of Egypt supposedly began. If the Sphinx was carved this early, it implies that a highly organized civilization existed long before conventional history acknowledges any advanced culture. Hancock connects these findings to the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, a proposed comet strike or massive meltwater event around 10,500 BCE that rapidly ended the last ice age and devastated early civilizations worldwide. Robert Bauval's Orion correlation theory provides astronomical confirmation of this ancient timeline. Bauval noticed that the three Giza pyramids don't align in a perfect row. The third pyramid sits slightly offset. This apparent construction quirk actually mirrors the three stars of Orion's belt in the night sky. Using astronomical software, Bauval calculated when Orion's belt would have appeared in this exact configuration directly over Giza. The result? Approximately 10,500 BCE. What construction workers found beneath Tiger Woods' $80 million mansion wasn't just unexpected. It completely changed everything we thought we knew about him. Sealed under concrete was a secret vault packed with never-before-seen footage, medical records, and handwritten notes chronicling years of pain, doubt, and an obsession with total control over his legacy. This isn't a scandal, it's a disclosure. Jupiter Island represents the pinnacle of exclusive American real estate. This barrier island off Florida's coast hosts some of the wealthiest residents in the country, with property values consistently ranking among the highest per square foot in the United States. The island's strict privacy ordinances and limited access make it a fortress for high-profile individuals seeking complete discretion. Tiger Woods chose this location specifically for its ability to shield his personal life from public scrutiny. In 2006, Tiger Woods purchased a substantial property on Jupiter Island for approximately $40 million. The acquisition included a double lot spanning roughly 12 acres of prime oceanfront real estate, stretching from the Atlantic Ocean to the Intracoastal Waterway. This unique positioning gave Tiger control over an entire cross-section of the island, making his estate one of the most valuable single-owner residential properties in the region. The completed estate consists of two main structures connected by a glass-covered walkway. The primary residence measures 12,000 square feet, while the secondary building spans 14,000 square feet. This multi-purpose facility was specifically designed to support Tiger's training regimen and business operations. The main house features floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Atlantic Ocean, multiple bedrooms and bathrooms, a spacious living area, and a large kitchen designed for both daily use and entertaining. The outdoor facilities represent one of the most sophisticated private golf training complexes ever constructed on residential property. Tiger's practice facility stretches across several acres and includes 4 full-size putting greens with different slopes and speeds designed to replicate various tournament conditions. The complex features 6 bunkers with varying depths and sand types, ranging from Augusta-style white silica to British Open-style compacted turf sand. Each putting green is maintained at different heights to simulate fairway, fringe, and rough conditions. One green is specifically maintained at higher speeds to replicate U.S. Open tournament conditions. The wedge range allows Tiger to practice shots from 85 to 145 yards into various green shapes with changing pin positions, enabling precise distance control and ball flight adjustments under different wind conditions. The facility incorporates advanced technology throughout. Built-in sensors track landing angles, spin rates, and carry distances, providing detailed data for equipment adjustments and swing analysis. Launch monitors and force plate systems in the indoor hitting bay allow for comprehensive swing analysis regardless of weather conditions. An elevated observation platform built into one of the support buildings enables coaches to film and analyze sessions from above, providing optimal visibility of ball flight, setup alignment, and swing path. Years after settling into the estate, Tiger began experiencing structural issues with the main residence. Small but persistent problems emerged, starting with uneven settling on the east side of the house. Doors failed to close properly, and floor tiles developed hairline cracks. Initially dismissed as normal coastal property settling, these issues eventually became too consistent to ignore. Structural engineering evaluation revealed that ground beneath the foundation had shifted slightly over time due to natural erosion combined with rising groundwater levels. While the home faced no immediate danger, engineers recommended preventative measures to avoid future damage. The proposed solution involved drilling pilings into the subsoil to better anchor the structure, a common practice for luxury coastal homes in Florida. Construction crews began work quietly, operating primarily during night and early morning hours to avoid attention. Permits were filed under routine maintenance categories with no public statements or press releases. The crew consisted exclusively of contractors who had worked on the original estate construction. Tiger's staff received instructions to maintain complete discretion about the project, consistent with standard privacy protocols on the property. During the early phase of foundation work near the northeast section of the property, workers encountered an unexpected obstruction beneath a concrete slab. After removing several inches of reinforced concrete and protective fill, they discovered what appeared to be a sealed steel door embedded horizontally into the foundation. The discovery was immediately reported to Tiger, who authorized further inspection while insisting on complete confidentiality. Contractors brought in specialized equipment to break the seal, revealing the entry to a narrow concrete shaft extending approximately 12 feet underground. At the bottom lay a square chamber measuring roughly 20 feet long by 15 feet wide, complete with independent air ducting, electrical feed, and moisture-resistant interior finish. The room appeared empty at first inspection, but featured no visible external access, no interior connection to the house, and no lock from the outside. Construction materials and systems matched those used during the early 2010s build-out, indicating intentional addition during the estate's original construction phase. When informed about the sealed room, Tiger reportedly provided specific instructions for cataloging, cleaning, and photographing everything before personal review. Security staff maintained a round-the-clock presence near the access point during this documentation process. The space revealed deliberate organization with custom shelving and climate control systems. Steel containers, archival boxes, and wooden crates were systematically arranged with labels containing dates, initials, and handwritten notes. The chamber contained leather-bound photo albums dating to the early 1990s, with rarely seen images from Tiger's youth, including candid shots from junior tournaments, training sessions with his father, Earl, and family moments never released publicly. One photograph reportedly showed a young Tiger with a handwritten caption reading, "One day they'll understand." 3 preserved golf bags were discovered, including one set matching exact specifications from the 2000 U.S. Open at Pebble Beach, where Tiger won by 15 strokes. The grips showed wear, but club heads remained carefully oiled and wrapped. A third bag contained equipment from Tiger's teenage years, representing tools from before his professional career began. A fireproof cabinet held medical records, MRI scans, and rehabilitation schedules from various specialists. Most documents appeared routine until handwritten margins revealed more personal details. One note read, "Sharp pain again today. Couldn't swing, couldn't stand, cried after the session." Another simply stated, "Numbness in fingers. Losing grip strength. Can't tell anyone." Film reels stored in metal canisters bore only year and location codes. After digitization, previews reportedly revealed unfiltered footage showing Tiger alone during rehabilitation routines, occasionally breaking down mid-sentence while addressing the camera. Handwritten logs compared flexibility measurements, reaction times, dietary impacts, and sleep patterns.